Welcome to this explainer, everyone. I am absolutely pumped you're hanging out with us today because we are going to dive into something that will completely shift the dynamic of how you interact with the world. Think of me as your personal social coach today and consider this your ultimate game plan. We're unpacking the social playbook, specifically looking at the biological science of instant attraction. We're going to dive deep into the fascinating psychology of human behavior and hand you scientifically backed biological hacks to boost your natural magnetism. Get ready to take some mental notes because what we cover today is literally going to change how you walk into every single room.
So, are you tired of feeling totally invisible in a crowded room? Look, we've all been there, and let's just acknowledge it. It's a painful, really frustrating feeling. You walk into a social setting, maybe your self esteem is taking a little hit that day, and you're just wondering why some people seem to effortlessly light up a room while you kind of fade into the background. It feels like they have this secret superpower that you just weren't born with. Right? Well, I'm here to tell you there is a scientifically backed solution to this. And the absolute best part? It doesn't require faking a personality, rehearsing cheesy lines, or changing who you fundamentally are. We are simply going to optimize your natural biology.
Here is our game plan for today. We'll be hitting 4 crucial phases. Number 1, nailing the first impression. Number 2, forging an instant connection. Number 3, the biology of bonding. And finally, number 4, mastering true vulnerability. This is your step-by-step roadmap. All right, phase 1, nailing the first impression. Let's get into the approach. Before you even utter a single syllable, you really need to understand the concept of pre-selection. Now, this isn't just some modern dating trick. We are talking about deep evolutionary hardwiring. Human beings are biologically programmed to want the person that everyone else already wants. It's a phenomenon you see all throughout the animal kingdom. In nature, assessing a potential mate or a new ally takes a ton of cognitive energy, so animals develop this brilliant mental shortcut. If the rest of the group likes this individual, well, they must be valuable and safe. And guess what? Humans do the exact same thing. You can instantly boost your appeal by simply showing up as a vibrant, happy person who clearly has a great social life. When people see that you're confident and that others genuinely enjoy your company, your social value absolutely skyrockets because you are hitting that evolutionary override switch right in their brains. So, how do we physically broadcast that confidence? Well, think about nervous body language for a second. When you feel anxious in a social setting, you might instinctively fold your arms. It totally makes sense. It's a natural, evolutionary, protective mechanism. Your brain senses a threat, like social anxiety, and tells your body to physically shield your vital organs. But if you want to be magnetic, you have to consciously flip the script to magnetic body language. This means actively letting those arms fall away from your chest. You've got to open up your posture to signal to the entire room that you are highly approachable, totally safe, and brimming with high social value.
Let's literally practice this right now. I want you to do this with me wherever you are. Step 1, let your arms fall away from your chest. Just let them drop. Step 2, uncross your legs and plant your feet firmly on the ground. And step 3, straighten that back. Boom. Just like that, you've completely changed your physical presence. By forcing your body into this expansive posture, you are actually lowering your own cortisol levels. Yep, the stress hormone, and signaling to everyone around you that you belong there. Each of these nonverbal signals instantly creates a physical and emotional bond. You aren't just acting confident, you are biologically signaling it.
Moving right along to phase 2, forging an instant connection. Let's talk about building those bonds quickly. So your posture is open, you look approachable, but exactly how do you signal to another person that you are fully engaged and receptive to them? Well, attraction and interest literally change the physical orientation of your body. When you're just hanging around with friends, you might lean back, looking totally relaxed. But when you want to signal deep connection, you need to spring forward. Imagine the person you're talking to is geeking out over a personal hobby that you know absolutely nothing about. If you lean forward, you are physically proving that their words matter to you. You're directing your energy entirely onto them. It's incredibly flattering, and it makes you instantly more attractive because you're showing genuine, undeniable investment in their thoughts. Next up is an absolutely phenomenal psychological hack, mirroring. Have you ever noticed that when you're just really vibing with someone, you kind of start acting like them? That is your subconscious social superglue at work. We literally have specific cells in our brains called mirror neurons, and they exist to help us empathize and bond with our tribe. When you like someone, you naturally mimic their facial expressions and actions without even realizing it. But here is the coach's secret for you today. You can consciously utilize this biological trick to build immediate rapport. If they smile, you smile. If they lean on the table, you lean on the table. If they take a sip of their drink, you take a sip. By subtly mirroring their behavior, you speak directly to their mirror neurons, sending this powerful, unspoken biological signal that the two of you are perfectly in sync. Okay, phase 3, the biology of bonding. Time for the chemical reactions. This is where things get really fascinating. We're talking literal chemical reactions happening inside the brain when we form a genuine connection. First up, deep eye contact. They say eyes are the windows to the soul, right? Well, biologically, they kind of are. When you let your gaze linger and look deeply into someone's eyes, your brain releases oxytocin. That's the famous love hormone. Think of it like a hot cup of coffee for your brain, just this warm, comforting rush that circulates and makes you feel profoundly closer and deeply trusting of the person right in front of you. And second, we have subtle touch, which triggers a massive flood of feel-good hormones.
Physical contact is incredibly powerful, which is exactly why the art of subtle touch is something you absolutely must master for your social playbook. Human skin is packed with sensory receptors that are wired directly to the emotional centers of your brain. So a super gentle, completely appropriate physical touch, like a light tap on the arm or the shoulder to emphasize a joke during a great conversation, triggers a sudden rush of dopamine and endorphins. It instantly elevates your attractiveness and transforms a standard everyday conversation into something truly electrifying. It bridges that gap between strangers and creates undeniable chemistry on a pure biological level.
Finally, phase 4, mastering true vulnerability. This is how we master the long-term connection. To move past that initial surface-level biological attraction and into deep, genuine trust, we have to talk about what happens on the inside. There's this pivotal 1997 psychological study by Arthur Aaron and his colleagues, and it found that vulnerability nurtures both love and attraction. Their research proved that mutual, escalating self-disclosure builds trust by fostering much deeper feelings of closeness. Look, in our daily lives, it is so easy to raise these giant protective walls to keep ourselves from getting hurt, right? We wear masks to appear perfect, but the science proves that letting those walls crumble down, opening up, and sharing your authentic, imperfect self is quite literally the most magnetic move you can make. The brain is wired to connect with humanity, not perfection. You simply cannot hack your way into long-term trust without genuine vulnerability.
And that brings us to the end of our playbook. So, how will you deploy your newfound social magnetism today? You've got the scientific knowledge backing you up now. You understand the evolutionary power of pre-selection. You know how to uncross your arms to drop your physiological armor, spring forward to show real engagement, subtly mirror actions to build rapid rapport, hold eye contact to trigger that oxytocin, and finally, drop your emotional walls to build lasting trust. The biology is completely on your side. So, what's your next move? I challenge you to take these scientifically proven hacks out into the real world and just watch how the room responds to you. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.